Hey guys, I just received my new toys and I'm sure you are just about as excited as I am to get started, and I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. I've chosen to set my growing veggie gardens just here in this area between my TV and my messy storage space. It's a very shaded area, very similar to many balconies you guys have in Bangkok. Before we get started, we just make sure that we clean this place. We have a free space where we can work freely, as big as possible. I know most balconies are very small, very tiny, but we try to make as much space and clean as we can. This is very important if you're working with kids. Give them the right habits. To set your learning garden, we're going to start with the shelves. So we don't need to carry them. We just move them around like this, not too close to the wall. We leave a little gap. It might be a little bit wobbly. It's okay. It's part of it. It's going to settle once we have filled planters on top. We don't grab them by the handle here. It's not a handle. We grab them like this so that we don't hurt our backs and we can move them without breaking them. It's okay to grab them up the front here. Just please not on the bar. It's going to break. So we set the planter the way we like. We can center it. There's a little bit of leeway on purpose so that it's easy to handle. Bottom planter, same trick. We don't get hurt. We can grab it by the front planks here. It's strong enough so that we can do it like this. We set it up in place. Et voilà, ça y est. For shooting the video, I've set up the planter on a table so that it's easier to work from. At home, you may want also to prepare your planter separately if it's easier to work. But please do keep in mind that once it's filled with soil, you will need to be at least 2 adults to put it back into position, because it's going to be way too heavy to handle it by yourself, especially if you do water. Once you water the soil, it's going to be really too heavy to put it up in position. So I do advise that if you're alone, set the planter in its final position before filling it up with soil, and especially before watering. Talk about soil very quickly. I'll make a detailed video on soil and how to use it, but for now let's just know that this is excellent soil mixed with rain tree leaves. It's very good, and we're going to mix it with some rice husk to improve drainage, and with some coconut husk which has been grounded to improve water retention. We also have from Chiang Mai some very special soil which will act as a booster to boost our veggie production. To open our packs, there's a very easy trick, like this, and there we go. This is open and ready to use. First, we're going to set 2 bags of soil inside the planter. You may want to work separately in smaller batches, like for example setting some newspaper on the floor or on the table so that you're more comfortable with this. The principle is the same. We need to mix in the same proportions. So 2 bags of soil, half a bag of coconut husk. It works better if you have scissors to open the bag. So half a bag of coconut husk, there we go, we spread it around. Half a bag of rice husk to improve drainage. And I forgot to add in the video the soil from Chiang Mai. At this point, we want to add about 2/3 of the bag from the soil in Chiang Mai. And then we can start to mix very well everything. We're going to mix everything thoroughly. Feathers aren't welcome. Besides that, when we mix, we might meet up some chunks of soil compacted, so we break them down in smaller pieces and we mix everywhere in the corners, at the bottom. We can work from the front of the planter to reach the corners, and everywhere we mix. Deeply in depth, we find some big chunks of soil, break them down. If we have twigs or branches, we keep them in, no big deal. And we mix everywhere thoroughly in depth. If we already have some plants at home that we wish to add to the planter, we check the finished level. We should come to the finished level here of the planter once completely full. So we would remove the bag, obviously, and check that it's at the right level before filling in more soil. Depending on what we want to do in the front part of the planter, we're going to either add more soil in there and fill it up if we want to sow seeds, or if we want to add some plants, now would be the right time as well. For example, here I'm going to take cuttings of Malabar spinach, but mint would work just as well, and we set the cuttings in place before filling in more soil. So we take the longer branches, and they are going to grow just well here, and they're going to hang out from the top part of the planter. So we set the twigs in position, and then we can fill more soil. Let's now prepare the top area in the planter for sowing seeds. First, we had some coconut shell, ground coconut shell, and we are going to remove the fibers that come with it that we can use in other parts of the planter, or that we can put in our compost bin if we have one at home. And we are going to mix this powder with the topsoil over a depth of about an inch, and we're going to mix it well to improve water retention around our seeds. Let's now remove every little bit of chunks that we find in the soil, which can be clumps of soil, leaves, twigs, branches. We just screen them out, we rake them out with our fingers like this, and we remove them to other parts of the planter or compost bin. Let's make sure we flatten up this area. You can see in the video that my planter is not completely full because I've had to rush during the making of this video. It was raining, so you want to fill it up more at home. You can go higher than this. So once we've removed everything, we compact the soil a little bit, not too hard, just enough so that when we set seeds inside, we know that the soil is going to stick to them very well. We are not going to water our soil, our planter, so I do recommend using a watering can and watering slowly. It's a good habit to have. I know that it has become my morning ritual to water my plants slowly and spending time with them. Going slowly is a good way to observe and learn, to get our eyes used to recognizing the state of the soil just by the look, seeing whether it needs water or not. As you can see, I'm crisscrossing when I do water to make sure that I water everywhere. And at this point, we want to water well, more than I do here in the video. Once we're done, we compact a little bit and we remove any extra leaves or twigs that we may find at this point. We may want to use a chopstick to get seeds in position. It's more precise. We make a little hole, not too deep, get the seed in and press on it again. If we have large seeds like the ones I have in my hand, mung beans, we want to soak them overnight so that they will germinate much faster. Then we compact the soil a little bit over the seeds again, and that's it. After setting our seeds in position, we water very slowly this time, and because the soil is wet already, you can see how the water soaks very well around our seeds. We water very slowly, we don't want to disturb the seeds anymore. And that's it. This is it for now. It's enough to get started. Have fun, enjoy your equipment, and we'll make some more videos, more in details about soil, about seeds, about plants, and something tells me I'll see you online. We're starting this Wednesday, 10 a.m. Take your appointment with us either on the page or by email. You know us. Let's meet then. Bye-bye.